So in case you guys didn't know, the other day Apple had an event where they talked about a few different things, but one of the things they announced was iOS 16. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically just a software update for your phone that gives you new stuff that should come out this fall sometime. So first off, one of the main new changes that they made was they're redesigning the lock screen. And so what that means is they're giving you the option to change the font of the clock on the top and also change the color of it so you can make the time like a color that you think looks good with your background. They're also adding the option to add widgets to your lock screen, so you could be able to show like your activity or your weather just on your lock screen whenever you tap your phone or whatever. They're also giving the option to have multiple lock screens, so you can have like a few lock screens that you like with like different widgets or wallpapers or fonts or whatever, and so then you'd be able to switch between them whenever you want. They also talked about how when you have a lot of notifications, it covers up the picture that you have as your wallpaper. And so to make that better, they are making the notifications show up at the bottom of the lock screen instead of the top. And if you get a bunch of notifications, they just stack on top of each other and then you can click on it to see all of them. And so now whenever you look at your lock screen, you see your wallpaper instead of just a ton of notifications. They're also adding a feature that they call live activities, and so basically that'll give apps the option to use your lock screen to show you information. So like an example they gave was if you have an app that sends you notifications a lot that updates the score of like a basketball game or something, instead of getting a ton of notifications from it, they could just show a thing on your lock screen that shows the score live. They also showed like it would be able to work with Uber, so if you got a ride, it would be able to show you when your car is going to arrive. They're adding a thing called iCloud shared photo libraries, and so what that is you'll be able to share an iCloud album with 5 other people, like your family or something, and so then you can all take pictures and add to this album and make edits to it and all be able to see it. They're also adding a switch in the camera app if you have that set up so that you'll be able to have the option to just add photos directly to the album when you're taking pictures. And if you don't want to, then you can just turn it off and so then it just goes to your photo album. In messages, they're adding the option to be able to edit and unsend a message that you recently sent. So if you just texted someone and you realize that you texted the wrong person, you'll be able to unsend it. Or if you noticed you made a typo or something and sent it came off the wrong way or something, you'll be able to edit that text. And I might be wrong about this, but I do believe that it shows the other person that text was edited if you did change it. In the Mail app, they're adding the option to be able to schedule an email or undo a sent email. So after you send an email, there will be an undo button and you'll be able to click that within 10 seconds after sending it. So it's not a whole lot of time to undo it, but it does give you a few extra seconds to, realize you didn't mean to send that and undo it. Or if you wanted to type an email out and then you didn't want to send it right then, you could schedule it for later. They're also adding a thing where it allows you to remove the subject from a photo. So like if you took a picture of something, you'll be able to hold down on the subject of it and it will lift it off the background and then you'll be able to put it in a text message or something. In the camera app, there's a feature called live text, which is not a new thing, but it allows you to take a picture of something and be able to copy and paste any text that's in the picture. Well, now they're adding more capabilities to that. So they're allowing you to be able to call a phone number or visit a website just by pointing your camera at it and clicking on it. And they're also allowing you to convert currencies or translate language using this as well. On the keyboard on your phone, there's a button in the corner for dictation. So if you've ever used that before, it's you click on it and then you can say whatever you want to type and it fills it in for you. But the way it works now is when you click on it, your keyboard goes away and you're not able to type while you're using it. Well, in this update, they're changing that, so when you click on the dictation button, you'll be able to speak, but your keyboard stays there. So if it makes a mistake or you want to add something else, you'll be able to type while that's still on. So if it got something wrong, then you'll be able to delete it and change it, but then still be able to speak and add more to it. Dictation will also be able to automatically put punctuation in the sentences for you, so you won't have to say period or comma while you're talking, or have to add them in later. And if you wanted to add an emoji in it, you would also be able to say the name of an emoji and it'll automatically put that in for you. In the Maps app, they're adding the ability to add multiple stops to your route. So if you got directions somewhere, you can add up to 15 stops instead of just from one place to another. If you have Apple Pay set up, they're adding a new feature called Apple Pay Later. So if you're on a website that accepts Apple Pay, then there'll be a new button that says Apple Pay Later. And so what that does is it will, instead of paying for everything at once, you'll make 4 payments over the span of 6 weeks, which I don't really know how that works, but that's what they said that it will be able to do. In the health app, they're adding the ability to be able to scan a pill bottle in case you have to take certain medications, and it'll automatically recognize that, and you'll be able to have it remind you to take those pills so you don't forget. If you have more than one Apple device, they're giving the ability to transfer FaceTime calls. And so basically, what that means is like if I got a FaceTime call and answered it on my iPhone, and then I later decided that I would rather be talking on my MacBook or something, then there'll be a button on that device, like either iPad or MacBook or whatever, that says like transfer or something. And so then you'll be able to click on that, and then the FaceTime call will automatically be switched to that other device, which I thought was pretty cool. They also talked about CarPlay for a little bit, and so basically what they said about that was how a lot of cars that are coming out nowadays have more than one screen instead of just like in the middle of the car, like how drivers will often have a screen like behind the steering wheel or whatever. And so they said that they are working with several car makers right now to have vehicles where CarPlay will take over like all of the screens, and so you'd be able to have like Apple Maps in front of the driver or stuff like that. And since it would be taking over all of your screens, it also would be able to like change your car's radio or air conditioning through the CarPlay interface. They also showed a few concept images of what this would look like, and I thought they looked really cool. Right now, from my understanding, there's not any cars out right now that will be able to support this, and so that's why they're having to work with the car companies to make this happen. And they said that the first vehicles to have this will be announced in late 2023, which is a long time from now. And then here's a list of the car companies that Apple said they're working with to make vehicles that will support this. iOS 16 should be coming out this fall. Usually in September is when they release it, because that's when they come out with the new iPhones. I think that's all for this video. So thank you guys for watching. Bye.